What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of Heavy Metal. So excited for this. Let's get started. 2 different lineups here today. Ghost, per usual. I think this is probably my favorite flavor. And then the obvious Liquid Death. All right, so episode 2, what's it about? What happened with the last one? Where are we at mentally? Guys, the past few months, I tell you what, like, I think there has been more go on, like, mentally for me than I've ever had, like, in my whole life. I don't know why that is, but life just kind of said, blah, here you go. But yeah, so that also kind of brings us into why I ditched the last episode 2 that I had previously recorded and started on this new one. So let's just get into it, because I mean, that's what we're here for, right? I've been struggling a lot. I did start therapy a few weeks ago, and it has helped. I guess because it's just kind of opened up my eyes a little bit more to kind of how to look at things more rationally, like with not living a dream world, so to speak. Like, I have to look at things and say, okay, like how do I go about this in a rational way? Because I am not a rational thinker at sometimes, because my brain gets way ahead of what actually is going on. But everything's kind of chilling out. But like I said, it has been tough, been a whole lot of pressure, and a lot of that pressure comes from myself. But is what it is. I'm competitive. That's just part of my nature. So I have to learn to kind of like give myself a little grace. But what we're really here for, what is the drop? And everybody knows my favorite band currently is Bing, Bad Omens. 1, I mean, it's Bad Omens, but 2, they're lyrical geniuses, and you literally cannot beat Noah Sebastian's vocals. I mean, you just can't. You could try, but you can't. But I bring that up to say your drop 2 for this heavy metal podcast is Like a Diamond in the Rough. You couldn't see for what it was. Do you know that song? If you don't know that song, it's called Burning Out, from one of their previous albums, Finding God Before God Finds Me. But hands down, as far as like the lyrics go in this song, you can't beat it. Kind of that song, that lyric from that song is actually where drop number 2 design came from. And why did it come from that? Let's take a little geology lesson. Most of you know, if you've even gone to grade school, you know how a diamond's formed. Under heat, under pressure, right? So simple enough. And also, fun fact, diamonds are not formed from coal. So how much heat, how much pressure to create something this big, for thousands and thousands of dollars, or millions of dollars for the rare forms. And like, people spend years. They spend years waiting for the diamond, and they also spend years for mining the diamond. So that's kind of where we are with our diamond, right? Mentally, physically, you name it. So my question to you is, what is your diamond? This could be a multitude of things. For me, my diamond is my purpose, right? Why my purpose? Also, I'm gonna be looking at my iPad a lot because I had like the brain vomit the other day of bullet points. So I just didn't want to miss anything. I also cried while like writing all these bullet points. So just FYI. So finding our purpose. I feel like this has actually been a really good topic at church lately. But how do we find it? Where do we find it? And, you know, how does all this blend together? We find it under pressure, when we feel the heat, when we have to mine our inner selves and our mental thoughts to remember our purpose. If our purpose is the diamond, it's not going to just naturally appear. You know, it is going to take the pressure, it is going to take the heat, it is going to take life's trials, life's storms, good relationships, bad relationships, good friendships, bad friendships, things with work, things, in just life in general with kids. All of that is going to be your heat and your pressure. But that is also going to cultivate your diamond. You have to learn to excavate the diamond. Does that make sense? I'm a very visual person, so I would have loved to have had like a little diagram going on over here, but kind of ran out of time because I'm a procrastinator at its finest. Also, with our diamond, it's our purpose, or for me, it's my purpose. Why is it important? And how does this kind of tie into the mental side of things, right? Our purpose is special, just like every diamond. Every diamond is not going to be the exact same, right? So same thing with our purpose. None of our purposes are the exact same, just like us as humans. Like none of us are the exact same. That is my cue to open up my ghost. But in such a big world, that one little diamond, our purpose, is needed. And I feel like this kind of goes with the mental health side of things, because a lot of us, when we reach a certain depth of, the lowness, it's hard to remember what our diamond is. We are such a small drop in the ocean. I mean, there's billions of people in the world. 1 out of a billion, and our purpose is needed. Remember, like, hey, in the depths of this, and it's taken me a long time to get here, don't get me wrong, because there are days that just don't. I have to now look back and say, hey, here is your purpose. Here is your diamond. Are you going to let someone or something dull your diamond? I feel like that is huge for the mental health side of things, because again, we all have a purpose. And a lot of us, when we do get to that depth, it's, I don't have a purpose here. I'm not wanted here. I'm not needed here. Let me be the first to tell you, yes, you are. I write things on my boy's little easel that I got from IKEA. Also, if you've never been to IKEA, oh my gosh. I write, little notes like breathe, mama, or take it slow, mama, or, live in the moment. Like, I have to set reminders for myself too, because I do get so caught up in the hustle and bustle. It is a lot sometimes, don't get me wrong, but because I feel like I have found my purpose. And that for me is the biggest thing. I feel like I've been searching for that for a really long time. Now that I've kind of settled into okay, I see where this is going. I see the potential of this. Doors have opened, doors have shut, doors have, been with a huge flashing light and saying, hey, over here, or the exit sign saying no. It's been one of those things where I'm learning to mine my diamond. Not trying to mine everybody else's. I am trying to, get people to start mining their own, but I am mining my diamond. All right, so I'm actually gonna take you guys to church for a second. I picked up a study plan a few weeks ago, and I had actually set it down, and last night I picked it back up, and it was kind of funny how God works, but it's amazing that last night's kind of correlated with what I'm kind of on right now. But anyway, I'm going to read you the scripture first, and then we're going to kind of talk about it. It's James 1:2-4. Darn. Says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete and not lacking anything. Whoa, because one, like I said, this is all about pressure and heat forming our diamond, right? Forming our diamond. And in this devotional, it goes on to talk about Job and how, no matter what happened to him, he still had perseverance, he still had faith in God, and he never questioned that. A lot of times when we do go through trials and suffering, and we automatically want to go, God, why me? I actually talked about this at church before as well, but like, God, why me? Like, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this? Why is this happening to my family? I want to ask why in a way of like, I don't want to say entitlement, but entitlement. Another thing I've kind of had to like shift my mindset to is it's not why is this happening to me, it's what is this teaching me? What can I carry with me? What do I know, that I have been doing that's not working? What can I change? And how can I change it? And I feel like that's something that's been really hard for me lately is like, I'm like, yes, I want to change, but I don't know how. And so I'm still kind of like learning to navigate that, as well as, BPD, that's a huge thing because I let my emotions get the best of me. And so it's hard to control my mouth. It's hard to control my temper. It's hard to control my tears. It's hard to control, my thoughts. And so, I really do try to be open with that. It's like, I feel like some people only see the bright, peppy side of me. Or, you've seen me crying in my office, yelling in my office, but 9 times out of 10, you're gonna see me smiling. But that other 10%, that is when I am at my deepest, darkest. I feel like I have no in between, if that makes sense. So, now that you've kind of gotten the scripture, the devotional, how that lines in with this, the thing that I immediately was like, oh, I gotta write that down. Because not only is this for you, not only is this for your mental health, this is to make sure you can excavate your diamond. Like I stated in the first episode, you are the 5 people you hang around. I don't care what anybody says, you are. If you can't look at them and say, oh, I want to be better like that person, or ooh, I want to be like that person, or ooh, I love their quality, or ooh, I love their personality, you're with the wrong crowd. With that being said, let's talk people and friends. How do the people we come in contact with in this life mentally mine our diamond? So mining is a process, correct? Yes. There are 3 types of people. This is purely just me. This is purely just me saying, hey, how can I turn my thoughts into like a bullet point list and kind of like a more visual list? Again, it's purely just my opinion, but I feel like we come into contact with 3 different people in our life. One, it's going to be the one that kickstarted over it and who didn't see it for what it was. Come into contact with those people, these are short-term people that are like, oh yeah, you're cool. You don't really have anything to offer me, right? Because they didn't take the time to know you. They didn't take the time to kind of like be like, okay, I can see where you're headed. Let's talk about it, right? Again, these people are short-term. These people probably aren't the best influences in your life. Sometimes this can be family. Sometimes this can be just friends. Sometimes this can be a relationship. Number 2, a little bit further than that, this is the one that sees a glimpse and begins to mine and help you mine for your diamond, but they get tired and they get frustrated. I feel like this one is big for my people that struggle with mental health. Anybody can stay around for the good. Anybody can stay around for the good. And this is where this group of people and your 3rd group of people set apart. And this one is going to be the one that's hard for me to talk about. When you are finding your diamond and you're like, hey, this is my purpose, yes. But it's not the diamond that they want. That your diamond is covered with tears, or your diamond is covered with anger, or your diamond is covered with a mental illness that you didn't choose to have. Or trauma you didn't choose to have. That group of people will say, oh, I saw it for a second, but I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to spend my time helping you find your purpose, because it's not exactly, I don't want to do the work to get there. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard one, because that can be friends, that can be family, That can be relationships for a lot of people. And it's hard to accept that, like I said, we all have a purpose, and we all have those people that we come in contact with. They all have a purpose for our life. Whether that's to teach us things, whether to be permanent. Those people can be so golden, but sometimes the work gets heavy. And yeah, so gonna hop out of that one before I get any more emotional. The third type of people that you come in contact with in this life, the ones that you want to hold on to forever, these are going to be best friends. This is going to be your soulmate. This is going to be family. These are the people that mine until they excavate the diamond, but they keep mining for more. They see your purpose. They know, hey, they've got this dream, they've got this purpose, they've got this vision. Let me help them get there. And on the hard days, we're going to dig together. We're going to keep mining until that purpose is fulfilled. We're going to keep mining until that purpose is fulfilled. These are the ones that are in it for the long haul. Regardless of how dirty it gets, how messy it gets, how heavy it gets, how suffocating it gets in the mines, they're still there mining. I am very thankful that I have found a lot of people in my life like that lately. And you know who you are. You know who you are. Those are the ones I want to keep forever. In return, I want to be that one. I know that I've been number one. I know that I have been number two. Ultimately, what I want to be is number three for my friends, for my family. That's what I want. That's what I want. And that's the mindset that I want going in, and to also turn around and be that number three miner for my boys. Don't know, I do have two twin boys, and they are the loves of my life. The one thing I want them to be able to look back and see is that Mom didn't give up. Mom didn't give up on herself. Mom didn't give up on me, my brother. She left a legacy for us both, and that is what I want for them. Whew. A quote that I was actually sent this morning from one of my very best friends, that number three friend, says, "Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved." Helen Keller wrote that. That, last night's devotional, all of these bullet points that I had been making, that to me shows me I'm on the right track with this design, with the podcast, with how I'm feeling about the podcast and design. Like I said, it's how is the diamond formed? Heat and pressure. What is our diamond? What pressure are we going through? What heat are we going through that is creating our diamond or forming our diamond? One, how are we excavating it? Two, what people are we excavating it with? On the mental side of things here, those that struggle, struggle whether it be severe, or lower end on the spectrum, or those have had friends for, suicide or family with suicide. To me, finding your purpose is what keeps you going. And so I encourage you to find your purpose, find your diamond, and know that there are people that are going to come along and they're not going to see it for what it is. There are people that are going to come along and they're going to catch a small glimpse of your diamond, and they're going to say, you know what, it's not really worth the work. It is what it is. And then you're going to have those people that mine with you in the trenches for life. I encourage you to find that. Find yourself, find your diamond, find that group of people, because your support group is everything. Just roll with it. Don't be scared to take risks. Don't be scared to do things that you don't normally do. I say that in a good way. If something catches your eye and like, oh, look, I think I could be good at that, do it. You know, who's stopping you? And you're gonna have those friends that are like, but your true friends are gonna be like, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna see if this is your purpose. I'm gonna help you through it. If it's not, it's not. We'll dig over here. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up episode 2. This episode and this drop, this means a lot to me for so many reasons. For so many reasons, this means so much to me. I hope that you guys, 1, enjoy the podcast, but 2, that you enjoy the drop. I hope you guys can take away something from this because it's been on my heart a lot lately, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. I hope that I can start, doing this monthly. Like I said, life has just been hectic lately, and wearing the caps of being a business owner times 2, 2 children all alone is kind of tough, but we make it work around here. Yeah, so episode 2 is a wrap. Stay heavy, guys.